Oh, we're back. Week 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Chase Smith, with my guy, Ernesto Jordan, my guy, Brent Holman. Week 2 of the High School Football Insider Show. Our point again of the show is to know we are going to push out as many athletes as possible, as many games as possible here in the Sun City, Island 5, to let everybody know what's going on here in El Paso, Texas. Starting off this week, we had a couple games, postponed and canceled this week. About 9 of them, if I'm not mistaken. A few were canceled, a few were rescheduled. They were able to get their games in, which is a good thing. It didn't really affect their record, kind of play out time. Kind of talk about our games over last week a little bit. Kind of go to you first, Jay. Tell me about a little bit of the Franklin over Chapin game. Franklin won 56-14. Just kind of give me like a quick little rundown of what happened in that game.
It started off good, and then it went bad. That's simple as that. They made a lot of mistakes. Chapin made a lot of mistakes. And, once you make a mistake and another mistake happens and another mistake happens, it just trickles downhill from there. But see if they bounce back. But yeah, they lost. I mean, Franklin looked good. What's his name? Jordan Morales. Justin Morales. He looked good. They all look good. The running back, he looked real good. So, but rather than that, it was Franklin's game. Franklin won it.
Typical 6A over a 5A.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say that. Yeah.
Okay. And moving forward, these are 2 games that their games actually got canceled, so they ended up meeting up, which is good. Coronado traveled down to Mustang Stadium to take on the Burgess Mustangs. Coronado won 40-0 on that one. If you want to kind of brief over that one a little bit.
Well, before I get to that, I'll sum up another thing we had, and that's the fact that it was a rough weekend for the Northeast. Parkland lost, Irvin lost, Andrews lost, and Chapin lost. So it was a rough week for the Northeast, So it's going to be, hopefully, and to be honest, a lot of those teams have tough games coming again.
Yeah.
A Coronado will be playing Andrus. That's a tough game for Andrus. And then, of course, I think Chapin has one of the best teams in the city when they'll be playing Eastwood, who's coming off that tough loss to St. John Bosco. So they're gonna have a lot to prove it. And again, also Parkland will have Riverside in a big game. And of course, we're going to talk to a Riverside athlete later on tonight. Carlos Rojas. So yeah, it was a rough week for the Northeast, and I think that's a theme that we don't even need to hit on because I think it was proven because I don't think any of them. I think the closest game was the Irvin Rockets. And that was still a 20-point loss, I believe. So definitely a rough week for the Northeast, and I think hopefully somebody rebounds, and shows some pride next week.
Okay, yeah. So again, Burgess Coronado had the goose egg over Burgess again. And
I want to hit on that because that's a tough ask. To have a team prepare for a 4A team, and then be asked in one day, hey, tomorrow instead you're gonna play a 6A team. Not to mention one of the best 6A teams projected to play this season. So I don't think that's necessarily fair. And I'm gonna be honest. Some of those canceled games because of rain is one of the most un-Texas things I've ever seen.
Right.
Now, I know there's some logistics to it. I understand that when you have a bunch of weather delays, the people who logistically support the football games have to be paid, and then you're also asking them to come back the next day and be paid again. So I understand there's a monetary side to it, but I don't think that those are things that come into concern in other parts of Texas like it did here this past Friday night. I've never seen games canceled for rain in the state of Virginia, and we have hurricanes.
Yeah, I
so
know.
I don't understand it here.
Yeah, but I know for sure one of them because the team plays on Thursday. So I know, but it's like by UIL rule where they have to have a certain amount of days of rest.
My question would be, why does the Thursday game change to a Saturday game or that
right,
Thursday game
just move it
change
on.
to a Friday game? So
because believe it or not, this could I don't know if it will, but it could affect playoff seedings when it comes to 9 games to 10 games.
Well, Coronado was down to 8 games and they would have not played on Saturday.
Because they already had 9 games. Yeah, they had 2 bye weeks.
Yeah.
But moving over, Jefferson took care of Fabens, 15-13 last second field goal. But one of the friends of our show who will be on later on to talk about how that went on. The Battle of the Claw, another game that took place again on Saturday. Austin over El Paso High School. The game was super, super close. 21-19, El Paso High School won, or 34-26. It was a close game.
When was the last time, Ben, I know you'll know, when was the last time El Paso has won?
So now they're going 7 years.
7 years now, right?
Jesus. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. You got an A.
All right. And then Highlander Stadium, Eastlake took over. Eastlake will beat Bel Air 62-7. Our player of the week actually was the quarterback of that game, Mr. Luke Lomelli.
Yep. Shout out to Luke. Couldn't make it tonight.
Congratulations.
Had other engagements going on, but again, congratulations on that performance over there. There was definitely, and from what I understand, played about a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Didn't even play the whole game. Racked that up in a quarter and a half. So,
Crazy.
hey, there's a little bit of tapping out. Let's QB2 handle a little bit of it. So, congratulations to him.
His
Heck of a
stats are on the board,
performance.
so 13 for 15, 283. So
4 touchdowns, 5 total TDs. He rushed for 1,
And a quarter
and again
and a
a quarter and a half. So, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, and of course, so Riverside traveled down to Big Spring. Fernando Show, Carlos Rojas had one heck of a game. Riverside won that game 49-21. The big game everybody talked about was our game of the week. Eastwood took a trip down to Bellflower, California, to take on St. John Bosco. Of course, Bosco won 7-14. A couple good things that people saw from Eastwood, but hey, it happens. East led over Parkland 34-26. Aldo with the win over Andres 48-7, and so Socorro, we almost thought we were gonna be able to get them on the show this week. Hopefully we can later on. Hopefully squeak out a dub. They looked really good over, but Horizon took the win 28-20.
which is Coach Garcia's first career win for Horizon.
So congratulations to that. Sanelli in the triple option beat down Anthony. Hanks over Irvin.
Can you talk a little bit about the running back from Sanelli?
Yes, he was one of our top performers of the week. I believe it's going to be up there on the board. 29 carries for 374, along with 73 with 5 touchdowns. People are like, man, why is he getting 20 carries? They run a triple option offense. He's in that fullback spot where they touch the ball almost every play. Hanks over Irvin. Jordan Morales, quarterback for Hanks, came on is going to be on our show later on. Andrews over Clint, and then Canatio over Pebble Hill 7-0. So some good football in this weather. A lot of close games, not a lot of blowouts. Let's talk about a little bit of our game of the week, Jay, from last week.
Just a quick Eastwood, Bosco was just, they overrun Eastwood first quarter, but it's some positives in it. No major injuries, so that's always a good thing. And one person that I seen that shined out there was Jude Walker. He had 2 TDs, 2 impressive catches. He had a one-hander, and then he had one at the goal line. So and that's going against a good Bosco defense. Let me not say good. Let me say a great Bosco defense.
Right.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. So now they come back here and they get prepared for their next game. So
Yes, sir. And another one that we kind of spotlighted this week as well. All the talk around the Northeast taking on the East Side. Andrews went down to the SAC to take on El Dorado. Brain, want to tell a little bit about that one?
I think there was a lot of talk that there was an improved offense over at Andress. I know they made some new hires over there, and I think it was a lot of the fan base for Andress was expecting more, and quite frankly, I think a little bit was expected more. And like I said earlier, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, it was a rough weekend for the whole Northeast. So no need to just pile it on Andress again. And anything said about Andress could be applied to any team from the Northeast, with the exception of maybe the Irvin Rockets, who had a pretty solid performance, And I say that, and they lost by 20, so that tells you how bad of a week it was for the Northeast. So, again, no need to pile on Andress. Everyone in the Northeast took that.
Yeah, and it's week 1, so the good thing about that. One thing, ladies and gentlemen, so you guys are aware, this year our Player of the Weeks, it will be determined by fan voting polls. Instagram and Facebook. This week's for Instagram Player of the Week, week 1, it was Luke Lomelli from Eastlake High School, and I believe on our Facebook polls it was Jordan Morales, with a couple other mentions on here as well for top performers. So again, congratulations to those athletes as well that all made it this week. There's no bias behind it. We want to show love to as many kids as we can each week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward to our games of the week. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on with our game of the week this week. We got 2 of them. We're gonna start with the big one that we believe is probably gonna be the most watched game this week. We believe so, or most eyes on. The Via Conquistadores traveled down to Franklin for their first game of the year. At Franklin High School, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Hopefully the weather permits. It doesn't affect us at all. Franklin coming off of a big win Del Valle, they weren't able to play, but hey, it's all good. Coming to you, Brandon, kind of give me your thoughts on the game of kind of who to look out for as far as when it comes to Del Valle.
So I'll be honest, it's kind of rough because, Franklin does have a week of tape. I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of the Del Valle athletes out at the game because it was on Saturday. So a lot of them were able to come out, watch the game on Saturday in person. I think I've seen probably about 7 to 10 of their athletes out there.
Solid.
But the biggest thing I tell you that's going to be the problem that a lot of teams are going to have with Del Valle, and that's how deep skill-wise they go at the skill position. I think that it stresses a lot of defenses out because it's hard to have that many elite level defenders as well on a defense. So they're very deep at the skill position. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the city and a great athlete, period, basketball player. I'd say he's dual threat, but he also has very good pocket presence, Jake Fetty. So I think there's a lot of that, and it all transfers to defense. A lot of those names I just named, they're also playing defense as well. Matt Lopez plays on both sides of the ball. Manny plays on both sides of the ball. Bananas plays on both sides of the ball. So a great team. Now I'll say this, what Franklin was able to do against Chapin that I was impressed with, they're very young at some positions, but what they were able to do, they made mistakes on offense. Chapin was not able to capitalize on the mistakes that they made. However, they capitalized on every mistake that Chapin made, especially on defense. When there were opportunities to make picks, they made them. When there are opportunities to make picks, I think they got very close to taking a couple of them to the house. Again, they took special teams. They capitalized. And anytime there was a chance to capitalize on a mistake that Chapin made, they did it despite being at some of the positions. I believe you had some first-time starters, but they were still able to play, with poise. And I think that was a big difference. I'm going to have to be honest. I don't know that that's going to be the case against Del Valle. I think Del Valle is going to be able to push some of those first-year starters to the limits, and I think in this one I'm going to go ahead and take Del Valle.
Okay, and just a little bit, briefly before we move on to our next one, Jay, a little bit of what you're kind of expecting from Franklin to be able to slow down Del Valle and to keep that offense off the field.
Don't make mistakes. When their offense has the ball, they got to score. We know their running back for Franklin, he runs the ball.
Yeah.
And they love to run him. They'll run him all three downs. Yeah. They won't even throw the ball.
And to be quite honest, they have a great size-wise. They have a great offensive line. Those two bookend tackles go about 6'4", 6'5" a piece, I believe. That's legit. We all three of us used to coach Justin Morales in youth. We all know that guy's been a mauler from the time he was 10, 11 years old, and that still continued. Very, humble young man. Spoke to him before the game, but hey, when those whistles blow, he's very businesslike. And a couple of those DBs and linebackers were on the receiving end of that from Chapin, and they're big. They're going to run behind that offensive line, but I think Del Valle will be up to the challenge. And I think the problem with that is that there was some opportunities where Chapin couldn't sustain drives, and I don't think Del Valle is going to have that problem. So again.
Okay. You want to make a pick for them?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Del Valle.
Okay.
Just why what weapons they have, all the skilled kids they have, and their defense. I think their defense is underrated, but I think they'll do great.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be easy, but I want to pick DV2. I think just because of weapons wise. But hey, we picked. Hopefully Franklin shows up and dominates their home field.
Hey, same deal as last year. If I pick wrong, I wear the shirt of the team I got wrong. So same deal as always. I just have to be provided the shirt. So it's also a great way for me to rack up shirts while also being wrong at football picks. So I look at it that way.
I'll join in on that one as well. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to our spotlight game of the week this week. Another game that usually happens at the end of the year. Different districts, so of course they had to switch it up. Jefferson's still gonna be 5A, Bowie is in 4A. Battle of the South Side kicks off at the Sun Bowl Saturday. Red versus Blue. Fox Plaza versus Segundo Barrio. Foxes versus Bears. Jefferson coming off of a big win. First win in 2 years. Bowie coming off of a rain delay. Rain cancellation, unfortunately. By the way, their stadium got flooded like crazy. So, you know, but Bowie coming off of a win, I think 2 years in a row now. 3 years in a row. So kind of, Jay, kind of tell me a little bit of what you're expecting, you know, from this battle down on the south side.
To be honest, Jefferson, they look good. You know, against Fabian, they
Thursday,
look
by
good.
the way, yeah.
They look good against Fabian. But I'm going to go with Bowie because I just by looking at Bowie's size, Bowie has size. And we all know how Bowie is. They're pound, run. So, and then they got the tight end that's what, 6?
Camacho.
4,
Yeah,
6'5",
Camacho,
yeah.
So we'll see what he does. I mean, I know Bowie's probably going to be motivated because their game got canceled. And this is their first game, and it's at the Sun Bowl. I'm gonna try, if I play for Bowie, I'll be trying to dominate. So that's just me. But I'm gonna go with Bowie for this one.
Okay. Brent, you want to kind of tell me a little bit about it?
I'm gonna go Bowie as well, just for some of the reasons that were already stated. I think right now, I do think Jefferson's coming off a big win that they needed to get. I just don't know that they're gonna be able to ride that wave to a win over Bowie. So I'm gonna take Bowie as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with the Bears as well. I think they're gonna make another year of another way to the south side. Kind of just going by. You guys will see our rankings up there from Borderland Sports and from Prep One as well. We appreciate the rankings. Kind of just breeze through ours here. We got DV at 1, Coronado, Eastlake, Canetino, Franklin running out the top 5. Eastwood at 6, Isleta at 7, Riverside at 8, Americas at 9, and El Dorado at 10. So just kind of what we have here at the show, kind of what we thought about. Moving on to our schedule this week. A couple games on Thursday. Of course, the Southside Bowl with Bowie and Jeff. We know we picked on there on that one. We got Canetino now at SAC 2, 6:30 p.m. Who you got, Jay?
I got Canetino.
Same.
Yeah, me too. Horizon West Plains. I'm gonna go with West Plains here. They're a big team out of Canyon.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know enough about them to pick.
They beat Canetino in the playoffs last year, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely take them then.
I'm gonna take Horizon because it's a local team. So.
Okay. America's homecoming down at SAC 1. America's first game of the year. Cam Johnson's first game of his senior year. Hanks at America's. Brent?
Cam's actually a junior.
Junior, he is. That's right.
I'm gonna go Americas in that. I just think that that Russian attack might be a bit much, especially with Americas coming down from 6A. I think they're still got a big time program. I still think they got quite a bit of athletes over there. I think it might be just a little bit too much for Hanks. But again, they get to play the game too as well.
I'm gonna go Americas as well. Just like what Brent was saying right there. But at the same time too, America's first game of the season is at the SAC. So I see Cam doing great things. So I'm gonna go Americas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go America's. So I think they're gonna be licking their chops to go after that sophomore quarterback at Hanks. So we'll see how that goes for sure. They're gonna get a heavy dose of Cam. So we'll see. Moving on to Friday night on the 6th. We got 2 West Texas teams coming down to El Paso. First one's gonna be Odessa Permian at Eastlake at the SAC 1 at 6 p.m. I'm gonna go Eastlake myself. I'm gonna stay with local.
Are we gonna pick every single game, man? Okay. Hey, Odessa. I'm gonna take Odessa Permian over Eastlake. Again, I think Eastlake has that powerful offense. I think they're gonna do well. I just don't know if it's gonna be enough to get them past Odessa Permian.
I'm gonna take Odessa Permian. They got a good record in El Paso right now.
Right.
So I'm gonna go Odessa.
I guess I can't tell I get Odessa Permian shirt since they don't not here in Odessa. Couple games got Cobra Anthony, Socorro, Isleta, Fabens at Burgess, El Paso High at Mountwood.
Mountain View.
Mountain View. We're gonna pick here Riverside at Parkland. I'm gonna go Riverside here.
I'll go Riverside as well.
And I'm gonna go Parkland. I think Parkland is a Northeast team. They sometimes got to click.
They got to bounce back. Somebody's got to bounce back.
Yeah, somebody.
Okay, and Brent, one of Brent's favorite teams here, San Elizario takes on Cathedral down on the west
Hey,
side.
Cathedral had a big win against somebody.
Huge win.
They put numbers up. So
Huge
again,
win.
got out to interview the coaches out there. Was impressed with them. I think I'm going to take them in a win over San Eli.
Okay,
I'm gonna take Cathedral as well.
I'm gonna go San Elizario. That triple option with that fullback they got back there is gonna be nasty. Clint at Gadsden, we don't pick New Mexico school, so I'm pretty sure we all pick Clint.
Yeah.
El Dorado at Austin, too much of Ray for me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
Bel Air, Irvin, I got Bel Air's going to take Irving down on the Northeast. Irving will look for their first win. Game on the West Side. West Side's going to be jumping again. 2 weeks in a row. Andrews at Coronado.
I take Coronado.
Yeah, same here. We talked about DV at Franklin. Chapin at Eastwood. I know y'all's pick already because you're obligated. I'm going to go with Eastwood here on this pick. So Coral get their first win this week?
No.
No, they take on
Isleta.
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 Nah.
Too much.
And Midland High comes down to take on Pebble Hills, SAC 2, 7 p.m.
Again, this might be a shirt opportunity, but I'm gonna go Midland.
I'm gonna go Midland.
I'm gonna go Pebble Hills.
So that's it for our games this week. Before we kind of wrap up, just a little bit of what's expected this week that just from around the city, brand of kind of your expectations.
I think I hit on it earlier in the show when I said, hey, I'm looking for one of those Northeast teams. All the Northeast teams are young with lots of coaching changes, with the exception of Parkland, who does have, it's been steady at the head coach position, but it is a big move in districts for them with them having to play up. So again, I'm just looking to see which Northeast team steps up this week, and shows some pride, because it's been a while since every Northeast team lost, so I'm looking for the Northeast to rebound someone.
Okay, and then Jay, to finish up with you, the last question. Last game for 5A D2. What are you expecting out of this before they jump into district play next week?
Which game are you talking about?
Oh, just in general.
Man, I don't know, man. I can't even tell you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. I mean, that's all I can do, because week 1, we see what happened week 1, week 2. I usually say about week 3, that's when you know where the teams are going to be at. So
Yeah, definitely.
But I would say even worse. I'd say week 2 of district. You start to see, because again,
Right.
a lot of coaches approach that pre-district play a little bit differently. Some people challenge and push their teams. Some people try to play down a little bit. Maybe you got a young team that you want to get in the groove of things. You want to build confidence. I understand that side of it. You got a more experienced team that you want to play up and you want to push them. I understand that side of it too. So I think a little bit, quite frankly, some people will hold starters out, until it gets to district play, and just save them a little bit. You might have 1 or 2 quarters with some people, and it won't be till district play you see what a team really looks like, to be quite frank.
I definitely think district they'll be able to show out of who's who. Something that we'll look forward to talking to next week. Maybe make some picks on the top 4 teams. Never know. But hey, like I said, keep on guys. Keep your eyes open on the page. We're gonna post as much as possible. Those polls we're gonna push out as much as possible. We're gonna post our picks. Make you guys picks on there. Prove us wrong on your end. And just no negativity. We're doing this for the kids. So it's all about the kids, not about your personal feelings. But hey, week 2, wrapping up here. I'm your host, Trey Smith. With my guys, Ernesto Jordan. My guys, Brent Hallman. Next week, see you guys next Tuesday. This week, check out the games. Laters.